Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Embracing Circular Economy and Flexible Packaging webinar, brought to you by Comexi. My name is Alexander Astudillo, Area Manager for Southeast Asia and Australasia. Our event for today's session will bring you lots of insights onto what Comexi is promoting and the interesting approach of our technology to create a more sustainable environment. I want to say thank you to all of our partners and the more of 200 participants in the several countries for broadcasting: Malaysia, Vietnam, Indonesia, Thailand, Israel, Australia, New Zealand, among others. Today, we bring you a live demo in order to see those monomaterials applications. And right after the end, we will have 10 minutes for questions and answers. So I kindly request you to drop your questions in our chat. Our program is bringing you lots of insights. First of all our the commitment to our to the brand managers, and just a quick reference, just to mention that paper may be the oldest form of what today is referred as flexible packaging. Flexible packaging has evolved and adapted to all kinds of behaviors and utilities till present times, by utilizing different materials and combining several layers in order to improve the shelf life of the products contained. But also, the massive usage of the packaging has generated a considerable amount of waste and emission to our planet. New changes already started being promoted by brand owners in order to create the proper scenario nowadays. First of all, here we have our first speaker, person who has been working more than 23 years, lots of experience on the home-based primary care, which is known as HPBC, committed with a strong consumer insight and a deep knowledge of the market needs research. He is a strong promoter and deliver lots of insights to all of our markets. For me, I'm really proud to introduce you to Mr. Bo Hien Trung, who is the manager for the research and development here for Unilever. Mr. Trung, welcome to our show, and please let me hear all those insights that you bring to us and to the whole world. Thank you once again for being part of this great show. Please welcome you. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Really pleasure for me to join this forum. And also, on behalf of Unilever, I would like to share, to the group is here, and around the world, how you are doing on this, plastic. And of course, there's also something related to the flexible packaging, which is, is a key challenge that we all have to deal with together. How we turn that into the positive side, for on plastic, So let me take, a few minutes to share that, here to everyone, around the world, about what we're doing, what our commitment, and how we, together to do that, to find solution for it, it's flexible packaging, okay? Can you see my screen? Hello? Hello?
Yes, Bob. Yes, we can do it.
I cannot, hide the window on the left, the top right. So.
Please go ahead.
Okay, right. So anyhow, So this is all this here. You see the plastic, this is all everywhere, right? And the plastic pollution is actually really a matter to us, a matter to environment, a matter to human, and of course at the same time throughout the COVID, we know plastic also have been saving life, right? That's obviously yes. So how we make the plastic work harder, how we dissolve the plastic solution, how we use plastic pollution, that's the job to be done for all of us, right? So let's join that with me, yeah? I will share that agenda as well. Okay. Now, on about challenge around that every FMCG organization is dealing with, yeah, or who actually producing related to the plastic pollution to deal with environmental impact. Obviously, we all know. I don't need to repeat that, right? Recyclative is also is banned, many banned in many countries on plastic, and of course the waste have to stay in this market itself. They cannot send over, and of course there's also many ways to go to ocean, right? NGO is also helping to alert to all of us to understand that wow is how single-use plastic on the earth, how it's in the oceans, how it's block out lands, right, and how it's going to the animal, right? Southeast Asia is a cluster where I base, and obviously I would say I really feel sorry that suddenly Southeast Asia become #1 ranking, the biggest contributor of plastic pollution to ocean. How we solve that, right, together. At the consumer side, of course, there's also several consumer now is get on understand that plastic is good, but how you really a consumer is we are also one consumer, how we respond for what we use after we use it, right? So that's all a challenge. That's actually come to every organization. Yeah, this is a core challenge to all of us. Yeah. Okay. So we'd like to share you on what sustainability packaging solution that you are doing. Right. This is a good place where I would like to to emphasize and what actually Unilever keep doing every day. Yeah. In everywhere. Yeah. Right. So before that, I would like to take you a little bit understand on who actually Unilever. So we are just about more than 160 years old, and we are about 52 billion turnover globally as business side. Overall, globally, we have about 400 brands, and across 190 countries around the world, right? And in terms of employee, at the side of the brand that we have, as the representative of we are on the earth, we are about 170 employees around the world. And of course, R&D is really important. We say we have about 8 centers around the world, right? So every day, you can say we're serving about 2.5 million consumers. That's how impact we are. Yeah. Therefore, we have our commitment as well. It's really hard for us, but actually we commit what we're doing. So we want to keep the plastic in the loop by 2025. We will cut out, by half of virgin plastic that we use, and more than 100,000 tons, to plastic reduction. We take out plastic for that, and the rest of it, we have to be, used replaced by, recycled plastic, and of course, use 100% reusable, recyclable, or compostable plastic. We're using no less or better plastic as our, strategy is moving forward, and of course, at the same time, second, I don't know how to close this. The box on the left-hand side, yeah. At the same time, we also, commit to collect and process more than what we sell. This is how Unilever doing. We invest in partnership in wet collection and processing, purchase using recycled plastic, and we pay directly to the collection through the packing API. We need all of us is here on industry, on of partnership, to ride the agenda together. Please join us the journey, and we have to close the loop on the plastic. Okay. And therefore, we create the strategies by design, not anything related to the text by that. Yeah. So we're looking into how we use less plastic. how we make plastic is better, we call better plastic, and whether anywhere that we can reduce the plastic, yeah, in use, yeah. So that is really, really simple that we tackle into the plastic as a problem, right? So there's an example whereas we already, use the plastics, recycle. In the US, also, in Southeast Asia, we also have a lot of bottle, using, recycled plastic. We are the lead, using that. And we do it. And of course, at the same time, we also need to turn out, packaging which is non-recyclable to be recycled. Yeah. So across category like personal care, beauty, home care, food and refreshment, as sachet, which is we looking forward into mono material. Yeah. Flexible packaging is something which is for us and for everyone is here as well. That is the key challenge, right? Because it represents every type of packaging. It's from primary to the decoration for the pack to secondary as well, in territory pack. Everything flexible. Why? It's so good. It's so light. It's so cheap as well. But of course, at the same time, it's really a lot of benefit to us as well as challenge. So I would like to take this, as a starting where, we tackle the plastic problem, right? Flexible packaging is what industry that we mean. It's absolutely, very lightweight compared to any other formats of the packaging, right? Obviously, it protects the product. As the multi-layer, you see, right? So we enjoy with that. This is have to carry the right quality to the consumer, and of course, on shelf is also brilliant with a lot of differences you can see, and you carry to home it also light, yeah. So, however, the more and bigger challenge for the flexible packaging after all that benefit is only become challenge after consumer use. I call it post-consumer, right? Where it go? Where it go? Definitely, right? So it's go to incineration, river, ocean that we just talking about at the starting, and landfill, right? Why? That's a value. Yeah, it has no value remaining. With those multiple, laser packaging, it's no value. How we turn around with that to get it more recycled, right? And then bring the value back. That's where we tackle into the find what is solution for the circular economy, right? Everything, this chart actually, the circular economy, this is everyone knows that, right? I don't want to repeat, this chart, but what I mean before, actually everything we start from a design. Yeah, we design for recycle. That honestly is very important. How we done, the multi-layer packaging, we put there, some with a different material, with no way to recycle. Right? To be a recycle, of course, and we have to look into a homogeneous material like polyolefin families, yeah, or mono material is mono PE. Like you have, replace the, PTs printing by something like MDO or, PPs, yeah. That's all actually we go with the mono, either mono PT, mono PE, or polyolefin. That's how, we can unlock, from starting as design of the product. Yeah. And after that, actually, it's about, converter, right? So what technology to handle that's new material? It's more flimsy, it's more tension, right? It's not stiff as a PT. How, industry can handle that with a competitive cost, right? So that requires technology, guys. Of course, at the same time, in our factory, we need to upgrade our infrastructure at the same in order to handle more sensible material, but it is recyclable. Yeah. And after all, again, it's coming to consumption at the consumer, and then post-consumer, what would be the area that we need to look into as a team, right? what we need to find out the solution for collection, segregation, a lot of things, how we segregate the material, which definitely can be recycled, and the other non-able recycle, how we segregate that, right? Is it by our effort, it personal, or something automatically we can do? You may heard about, watermark, you may heard about using a barcode, you may heard about, using QR code to scan and segregate, but how we make it in the commercial. That will have to boost the collection and segregation, then that can go to extend the value by the product has been designed for recycle. Now the last step is to tackle, make it recycle, right? So at Unilever, we also, put a lot of activity, among with collaboration with this, especially in Thailand, in several programs we call it, as you see, STRAS, advocacy, and ERPN. Yeah, it's a lot of things that we are doing with that. Yeah, in every market that we have. Yeah, so we're not alone. We have to work together, guys. It's not easy. This is tough job to be done, right? So but I believe we can make it, a good progress if we are all together. Yeah. So just give you an example, where in the UAE, that's is Skiptag, a coalition, member with multiple, industries plus, brand owner together to solve. Yeah. So this is obviously, happening in UAE. Yes, during 2019, 2020s. Yeah. And in the Southeast Asia, we also in the same, progress. Yeah, we have the strong commitment in plastic ecosystem. Absolutely. Yeah, we will add demand, for using recycled resin. Of course, then we can talk about recyclable plastic. If we make the recyclable, packaging, and then there is no demand for using it, what does it mean, right? So we are the one using it as well, and of course we also, how to turn the flexible packaging to be recyclable, that we can put the demand, right? And of course, at the same time, we also create a lot of, forum for collaboration. Like the example is here in Vietnam, the chairman, sitting in the forum and then talk about our mission, our job to be done, yeah, what we are looking for. At the same time, in the Thailand, ITM, also does similarly with the Thai community, yeah, and for the Thai market, yeah. This opportunity now for all of us, how we level up our collaboration, boosting the technologies developed for, first at the short design, second, converting using mono material, third, technologies that we can, handle this material, right? Mono material, but this is, very different with, multi-layer, flexible. If you look, it's a PT, very high heat resistant. When you look at the mono material like PP or PE, very low. So that always is different. Infrastructure need to upgrade anyhow, right? And at the end, how we push together, how we work together to build segregation, how we make, the recycles better, right? Better value. If it's better value, then it's going to be, recycled, right? And how we deal with, legislation in order to unlock it together, like, kind of activity, on the collection, segregation. Yeah. Okay. Lastly, I would like to share you as a project which is we turn, the sachet is multi-layer packaging to be a mono material. Yeah. This has been launched in Hanoi, Vietnam, last November. That's actually the first ever that we bring something from, talking about sustainability. Yeah.
Clear Planet. Did you know 60% of Viet consumers use plastic sachets because it is more economical and convenient. However, sachets are not easy to be recycled. These sachets contribute to Vietnam's plastic waste discharge, which is ranked the 4th highest in the world. Without proper design, collection, management, and recycling, decayed plastic waste may enter the food chain through our oceans and wastelands, threatening human health. So now, what can you, I, our users, and Clear do? Clear decided to make the planet a better place, introducing the first ever recyclable sachet with PE monomaterial-based technology. With this, your sachets can be collected, recycled, and reused again. All you need to do? Segregate your used sachets. It will be collected and recycled into usable packaging. Clear believe men and women deserve to have a clear, dandruff-free scalp without damaging the planet. What are you waiting for? Clear head and clear planet.
And that's all. I bring the context into here, as what you were doing. I'm looking forward for a wider, bigger collaboration among, the industry and among of, leading on technology. Is how we can do this together. Yeah, we believe we can solve the problem together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for presentation and really amazing it's bringing into the actual present times. Unilever has already presented the agenda for 2025, right? Bob? Okay.
Yeah.
So once again, gentlemen, thank you so much for your kind presentation, and thank you for allowing us your presence in this great opportunity. Thank you once again. So, knowledge, person with lots of insight, belonging to a company with more than 157 years in the market. He's a senior marketing manager of polymer dispersions and AMP, ammonium molybdophosphate, resins for adhesives, basically mainly for Asia Pacific. He's based in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, and he is a representative for BASF. To me, it's an honor to introduce this nice person with more than 32 years of experience in different additive chemistries and industrial segments, especially in flexible packaging, additive promotions, applications, and training. It's a pleasure for me to introduce you to, from BASF, Mr. KK Tang. Mr. KK, please welcome to our show.
Thank you very much, Alex. I hope that everybody can hear me and see my screen. Hold on. Yeah. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Okay. Yeah. Good. Thanks, Alex, for introducing me to the webinar. And on behalf of BASF, I would like to say thank you to Comaxi for inviting us to provide a topic. We call it Sustainable Future Product Carbon Footprint. Yeah. My name is KK. Yeah, responsible for technical marketing for Asia Pacific for BASF and based in Malaysia. Yeah. So as everybody know, if you think about this overall laminating structure, this structure can be either go to a landfill for the compostable, or it can go to the recycling process for mechanical recycling. Nevertheless, as a thin layer of adhesive to bond different plastic layers together, it is very difficult to say adhesive can be recycled. So during the recycling process or during the composting process, the adhesive layer will either decompose to the soil, or together with the washing water, the water that used to washing the flake, in the recycling process that follow the water and drain away. So no way adhesive can be recovered or recycled and reused, right? So in this case, what could adhesive layer that contribute in the circular economy? That is the reason why BASF want to introduce this product carbon footprint, how to calculate the carbon dioxide emission in our process by reducing this carbon footprint or carbon dioxide emission that contribute to the circular economy. How do I? All right. So as everyone know, population now in the world is getting higher and higher, in the constantly rising. That means we need more food, more water, more energy, and we know that this is not going to be sustainable in the long run, and especially currently single use or straight usage of this fossil material is still the majority. So people is thinking of how to make the circular consumption or recycling of the material is getting more and more important. And this gives a very high challenging to BASF, because this is part of the reason also to fight the climate change. As we know, climate change has already impacted our living environment with different kind of disaster, natural disaster, because of the heat. Then you have drought of forest fire, because of this raining, because of the melting of the ice cap in the North Pole or South Pole. This will create the increase of water level, the sea level. This create a lot of flooding in the world. So BASF is trying very hard to find a solution to, for a low carbon future. How to reduce the carbon emission in order to reduce the impact to the climate. And also another area is that to use more natural resource or bio-based material, and how to use this kind of material as efficient as possible. So this is where BASF comes from, to contribute into the circular economy. So in BASF, we know that the higher concern in the process is mainly coming from the manufacturing, the raw material and the manufacturing. How we source the raw material, what kind of raw material we use or we put into the process, and how we control the carbon dioxide emission in our manufacturing process, and what kind of energy or clean energy we use in order to reduce the carbon emission. So these are the areas where BASF is working hard on it. So these are the two areas. One is the raw material, to use as many as bio-based material or natural resource as possible, to reduce the carbon dioxide emission. So in this case, so this is one of the way how the carbon dioxide footprint or carbon footprint being measured. We follow the greenhouse protocol that internationally account to for calculate the product carbon footprint. So we use this protocol, and also we use the this base data or data average data from this third party in order to calculate the carbon footprint of a BASF product. First is the scope 1, where we calculate all the carbon emission from all the activities that carry out in BASF. Example, the process that we use, the energy that we use, how much of carbon dioxide emission in our process. This is under scope 1. Scope 2 is the energy we purchase, right? If we purchase energy from the power grid, there is a carbon dioxide emission, and all this data is coming from the third party. We use this data for our calculation, and we also put the scope 3, which is the indirect carbon emission, into our calculation, which is coming from the upstream. Let's say we buy material from a supplier, right? We will know how much of carbon emission from their product and the logistic that they use, the energy that they apply. So we have all this data from this third party and put into the calculation, which is follow the ISO 14040, 14044, and in line with ISO 14067. So we refer to all these standard protocol in order to calculate the carbon footprint that related to BASF. Yeah. So in this case, as a coating, as an adhesive supplier, we make use of this carbon footprint measurement to tell our customer what will be the emission of the carbon dioxide in the process where we cover cradle to grade, that means to gate. Yeah? So where we bought this material and then put into our process, after calculation, this greenhouse gas emission, and then we have a value COE, means this is CO2e, this is a carbon dioxide emission in this whole process, yeah, from the raw material until it is shipped out from BASF gate. So we have 45,000 of product already with this product carbon footprint data, where this comprise of 20,000 of raw material under scope 3, 10 terawatt hour per annual energy that we purchase, which is under group 2, scope 2, and then scope 1, which we include the 700 production plants into the calculation. So we have a tool that do the calculation at the end to come out with a carbon dioxide emission per kg of dispersion that the customer use. So this is the process of how we do the calculation within BASF. Yeah. So how it looks like. So when the customer want to know what is the emission, so this is one of the example. For example, you have a product which show 1.3 kg of carbon dioxide emission per kg. So if you use 1 metric ton, then you just time this 1,000, then it will become the kg of carbon dioxide emitted per the volume that you use, either annually or monthly or weekly. So it is very easy for the converter to calculate what is the carbon emission or the carbon footprint, yeah, of your product if you are using BASF product. Yeah. So in this case, this product carbon footprint is the 3-year average. So in this case, 2018, 2020. So it changed over time. So if you take 2020 to 2023, this number will be different, this number, because this is include the biogenic, means the bio-base of raw material that we use. Yeah. So this is the existing, if without the usage of the bio-based material, so there is a number. After using the bio-base, either partially or completely, 100%, for example, then this number will change because it takes 3 years of average. Yeah. So if you see these two the same, is because the average of 2018 to 2020 is still low. Yeah. That means the usage of the bio-based material in the process is still considerably low. Yeah. So that is the reason these two figures are the same. Yeah. So in the long run, this figure, the PCF include the biogenic, will getting lower and lower. Yeah. So this will be the figure, or this will be the value that show to our customer how much is the carbon footprint, yeah, if you are using BASF product. So this is an example, just as an example to elaborate, yeah, what is the benefit of using our material, which involve or which we are using the bio-based material. We call it biomass balance concept. Yeah. So that means we use the material from bio-based, either from the bio-waste or from the biogas or from the biomethane. So this kind of raw material that we put into our process, and we can calculate how much of a percent of this bio-based material being used to produce a product. So this is a comparison. For example, here, typical, like for example, the acrylic dispersion, just for an example, right? So this product is Acronal 7660. So before, right, it is a 2.5 carbon dioxide emission per kg of this material. Yeah, and you use the process, we reduce the energy, we use cleaner energy. The most that we can achieve, let's say, is 1. But this eco version is 1.3, for example, yeah, as carbon dioxide emission per kg. But if we use the bio-based material, which is in the biomass balance concept process, then it will reduce to 0.4 CO2 emission per kg of the product. So this shows a 70% of reduction. Yeah. So this comparison is between the fossil based material versus the bio-based material. Okay, so this is the value, and this is the benefit of using the bio-based, yeah, and we can help our customer to understand what is the carbon footprint reduction, compare the fossil fuel and the biomass material. So what is the benefit, right? People may ask, for example, hey, if I use this material, what will be the benefit? So sometimes you need to know if there is a government initiative, like some country, they need the consumer or the converter to show what is the carbon footprint of your product. Yeah? So you need to comply with this governmental regulation. And some of the organization sustainability target, yeah, if the organization, some of the brand owner, they want to set this product carbon footprint reduction for years, then this could be one very helpful tools, yeah, to help our customer or converter or brand owner to understand if they buy product A and product B, what will be the carbon footprint reduction. And regulatory and legal pressure. Sometimes this environmental body or some of the non-government NGO body, they want to help the society with regulation, yeah, to put the pressure to the converter or to the industry in order to produce a lower carbon footprint material. So this is the value added, and this is the benefit, where BASF can play a role there. And there's investor demand for this big organization. You need to have this ESG reporting in the investor or in the annual report or your financial report. So this is also one of the area where product carbon footprint measurement or data can be helpful in this regard. Yeah. So there are others like, how to, it can be a kind of differentiation between your product and your competitors. And this is also helpful for the customer or the consumer to understand or to pick which product they want to buy. Yeah? In case they see one product without the carbon footprint measurement and another one with a carbon footprint management, the measurement, where to drive the consumer to pick the right product or the product that they want. And at the end, this as an overall, this will bring the corporate or the brand image and the brand value at the end. So these are all the value added that product carbon footprint measurement or data can help our customer or the brand owner, yeah, in all these different categories or regards. Yeah. So these are some of the success story, yeah, beside adhesive. So although this BASF in our division, we are providing a layer of coating or part of the material in the recipe, in the formulation. So in this case, we want to tell the industry or the consumer how much of carbon footprint or carbon emission that the converter or the brand owner can reduce. Yeah. So one of the very well-known color, this is paint, yeah, for automotive glyceride, and then Carapo, Ramos. These are all the European brand. Yeah. So just an additional information for this carbon footprint. Currently, it is a very high demand and driven by the industry in Europe. Next is US. Asia is relatively new to the industry. So this could be the future of how to bring up your brand value, yeah, or the brand awareness to your customer. Yeah. So this is like an example. So if you are shopping in the shopping center, you want to buy a pair of jeans. So if you take out in the long run, if there is such a measurement or data that's still on the pan, then you will see, okay, if I get a brand A, then these genes contributed 21.45 kg carbon dioxide emission. The emission. Another pair is only 8.98. So this will drive the consumer to pick the right product that they want. So this is what we want to do in the long run, and we are going to do this very soon in all the industry that BASF is serving. We want to provide this number to the customer who is buying BASF product that enable them to calculate their carbon footprint for the next chain in the value chain. All right. So this is how we contributing in the circular economy. Although our product cannot be recycled or reused in the actual industrial application. Okay, so I think that's all for my presentation for today. Thanks again for Comexi and Alex support. And this is my contact details, business contact. In case you have any question, in case you are interested in product carbon footprint that you want to know more, or you want to collaborate with BASF, and please give me a call, drop me a note. I'm more than happy to talk to you in the more detail. So thank you very much.
KK, thank you so much for your nice presentation and for all those insights that you have shared with us during these sessions of today's webinar. I have to say, sustainable solutions for the flexible packaging industry is being such a really nice topic that you have shared to us. And well, once again, thank you so much. And I would like to remind to our participants to drop your questions in our chat. And we will be selecting right at the end of the show all those, because there is not time enough to be having a time for questions and answers. So please, I remind once again to all of our participants, drop your questions in our chat, and we will be selecting all those right at the end of the show. Well, our next company joining us in this interesting event is the people from the Bottcher Group. Bottcher Group is a company with more than 290 years existing in the market. It's a family-based company, same as Comexi Group Industries. The person who is coming right up next is a chemical engineer, graduated in Aachen in 1998. He started working for Bottcher in the development department as an application engineer for flexo and rotogravure printing. He's a charismatic and visionary person, and it's really nice and interesting to have you here, Mr. Stefan Gerhaus. Willkommen hier. Vielen Dank. Stefan, your audio is, I don't hear you.
Yes, now it's better, I guess. Alexander, thanks a lot for the introduction and also for the chance for me to present something about our technology, and also, of course, thanks to Comexi for making this possible, and of course, greetings to all from Germany. So now I will start my presentation. Are you able to see my screen also?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so I will start. Yes, I will start with a brief introduction for those who don't know Bottcher as a company, because I like to explain a bit about our background, also our relation to company Comexi, and then I will go forward with some more practical items. How about our scientific approach, to this sustainable converting items. So as already mentioned by Alexander, we are a family-owned company. We are founded in 1725. We are still family owned, and we have activities in around 39 countries. We also in our production considering the reduction of the CO2 emission. This will go step by step on all the different locations we do have. So Böttcher is a group. We have already 27 production plants in 80 countries, which enable us to be close at the customer for serving this. Our headquarters is located in Cologne, Germany, where I currently also sitting in my office. Here we do have our R&D, where we develop the compounds for the covering of the rollers and the sleeves, which we produce, for example, for company Comexi. We have our own rubber mixing plant, which is also essential to assure the high quality. And from this mixing plant, we deliver the coverings for the rollers and the sleeves to our production plants in the world, which means if you get a roller from Comexi, it will be the same compound as if you get a roller produced in Thailand or in America. Our relation to Comexi is mainly via our subsidiary Böttcher Ibérica, located in Madrid. So there is a close cooperation. We are proud to be able to deliver products not only for lamination, but also for the Comexi offset CI and also for the slittering device. So that was a brief introduction about this, and now I would like to come to a bit more in practice. So when I get the item for this presentation, I consider, okay, what can be the contribution of an elastomeric sleeve or roller covering to make a sustainable production process. So what is the target is clear, I guess. We have to consider the environment. We have to find ways to reduce the carbon emission. So I think the target is clear, and also thanks to the information from the previous speakers from BASF and Unilever, it's totally clear that something has to be done. But what can we do from our production process? What are the challenging if you run devices for flexo printing, rotogravure, or also for lamination or coating? What we see is a change in the material side. So we see more and more thinner materials to reduce plastic amount, but these kind of materials should have the same barrier properties. We see also a new combination of material with a higher content of recycled materials. We see also new lamination adhesives to make this processable. We see material which are more sustainable or suitable for recycling. And also an important part is more local waste recycling management. So these are the trends which we notice from the different markets around the world. So what are the challenges for our packaging industry, and how can I adapt my new my process to the new requirements, which means how can I produce this? And of course, important, who can support me on this way, which means how can the supplier support me to make it possible to produce new materials in my production. So from our side, elastomer technology can help to adjust the production process to the new materials. This will be our part. We should have high performance and long service life of the coverings. This means also reduction of waste in the production. And also, last but not least, a point is that we should take care of the logistic. This means we should have a short distance supply to you. When it comes to lamination and coating, in your production, then you have different options from Comexi, specialized for your individual requirements. And now I like to make a short look into what we can do for in case of coverings. If we look on a classical lamination station, we have two types of elastomer rollers or sleeves. One is the impression roller, and the other one is a dispenser sleeve in this production process. The covering of rollers and sleeves normally show up with different requirements. This can be, of course, optimized media transfer. We need some good mechanical and dynamical properties. Abrasion resistant and also chemical resistant is also very important to have a long lifetime of the products and of the sleeves or rollers you are using. The basic structure of an elastomer material. So, for example, some of you may know that we call it's an EPDM with 60 Shore, but EPDM is not only one basic polymer. Normally, the coverings are made out of a recipe, and this recipe contains up to 15 to 20 different ingredients. This can be the polymer like EPDM or NBR, but there are also vulcanization agents like sulfur or peroxide. We need some plasticizers, we need some fillers, and also anti-aging processing materials inside. So this means the elastomer covering is made out of 15 to 20 different individual ingredients. The basic polymer like EPDM or NBR is mainly responsible for the chemical resistance. This means if we have swelling or shrinkage, or if it's stable, and we can do also some adhesives to adjust the different properties. Here is a sample for a different hardness, which can be, for example, 30 Shore A, which is quite soft, then 60 Shore A or 80 Shore D, which means this is very hard material. And depending on the recipe, we have different properties of the material. When it comes to chemical resistivity, just some simple, we split in polar rubber and non-polar rubber, and also in polar or non-polar liquids. If you have a polar rubber like NBR, for example, and you have a polar liquid like an ester, like ethylacetate, and you put it together, you will get a swelling. If you combine an EPDM, for example, with a polar liquid like ethylacetate, there is no swelling. And same in the opposite, if you have a mineral oil-based product, which is used, for example, as an ink for offset, and you have a polar rubber, then you have no swelling. If you combine mineral oil with an EPDM, then you will see swelling. Swelling means increase of volume and decrease of hardness. Shrinkage means a decrease of volume and an increase of hardness. So all over this, we checked in our laboratory what will be from the chemical side the best material to have a long life of your roller and or sleeve covering. We do also in our laboratory some further tests. For example, in case of mechanical properties, we test the abrasion resistant, the tensile strength, the tear growth resistant, and also some other things like compression set. This is all to have a long lifetime as possible, a long service time. This is also important to have a sustainable and reliable production. We have also the possibility to do some dynamic tests, which means not only by, in theory, but we can also do real life tests with our elastomer compounds. And what is the reason behind? Because when we do these kind of tests, we also can check the performance under production process requirements. This means, for example, how is the performance when you have some increase some pressure? Will the covering stay cool or will it heat up? So this is also one part which is important to have a reliable and optimized production process in your lamination or coating or other application. We can do also measurements of the surface tension of our materials. So there we have, for example, hydrophobic or hydrophilic behavior of the rubber and of the media which we put in contact. This is also important to optimize, for example, the transfer of the media in the application. Here's just a short picture, so we can measure different surface tensions and find, for example, for the products from BASF, the optimized compound to make it possible to use it in the process. For example, in this case of the dispenser position in a lamination station. Here we have now the outcome of all these analyses. So we supply in the impression roller position, we supply an EPDM with the number 748 as OEM, and in the dispenser position for water-based or for solvent-free, we use a compound which is called 065 with 80 Show A. So this is a bit the story behind between the requirements, the physical properties which we are developing and the chemical properties, and the rubber compound which we use finally for our products. Short distance supply, also important for us. We as a Böttcher Group, as I mentioned, we have 27 plants all over the world, important for your regions. We have also 4 production plants in Asia, which is in China, in India, in Thailand, and also in Australia. This means we can produce rollers and sleeves close to you. Beside this, we have also different sales offices where you can get in contact if you need further information about our products or how we can help you to assist and to establish your production to a sustainable process. Yeah, thanks a lot for your attention. And if you have any further questions related to the process optimization or our products, please feel free to get in contact with us. Thanks a lot.
Hello, Stefan. Thank you so much. Vielen Dank für deine schöne, gute Präsentation.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for the Böttcher Group for sharing with us this interesting webinar. And thank you for the also your people in Thailand, to Kumpon, and to all the rest of the team. Thank you to Mr. to Mr. Kenny in Malaysia. All that I can wish you is lots of success in this interesting packaging market that we are sharing together. Thank you so much, Stefan.
You're welcome.
Our next speaker is passionate for packaging, working for lots of years in different companies like Amcor, Stentafield. Right now, he's vice president of the World Packaging Organization and executive director of Indonesian Packaging Federation. He's a really nice friend, interesting person, knowledgeable, and lots of insight that he can bring us into everyday life and really interesting moments that we share in Indonesia. Mr. Henki Wibawa, it's a pleasure for me to introduce you in this today's session. Thank you for sharing with us this moment. Henki,
thank you.
The session is yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alex. It's also a great pleasure for me.
Perfect.
So that's what I'm going to share with all of you, trend of the sustainable, or we call it also green packaging inside. So as Alex was saying, that this is my passion, actually. I've been more than 30 years in this business, and I'm still today as a consultant, and I'm technical advisor of Merindo Makmur, who's representing all of the products that we have already discussed or heard before, including Comexi as well. So I'm very familiar with that. And today I'm also the Vice President of Education for the World Packaging Organization. So this is part of my passion again. Okay, so let me start with this trend in the packaging. So packaging is today still getting more and more important, definitely. The whole trends, if you may see, is still growing, especially in this region. In this region that we are living here in Southeast Asia, Indonesia, including, of course, and we are really facing into the so-called wind of change today. So the whole our lifestyle is going more and more into so-called digital disruption. And the last 2 years, we also living in this so-called pandemic disruption. So we are living the way we are doing now is like this. It's more into a virtual conference, more on the work from home and everything. So the whole trend today, due to the pandemic as well, the greater consumer awareness is getting more and more into health and wellness, definitely. So we are very concerned about our health today. So the next is also regarding what we are talking today, regarding the recycling environmental issues. So that's what we call sustainability. And then regarding the economic growth that I started that before, definitely this region is increasing in the disposable income. That's why that packaging is getting more important, and everything is going because of the trend of our lifestyle before is going into more to urbanization, going more into the internet retailing, is going more into the branding strategies and so on. So that is all important that we have to understand about the packaging. First, of course, about the definition itself. Yeah, sometimes people are talking about sustainability, and sometimes people are talking about green. So for mainstream consumer, sustainability is more enduring. So long life, longer term, and associated with less compromise than is green. So green is more like a mission, actually, is being a mission, actually. So that is something that we have to understand. And if we are talking about sustainable packaging, let me make what is the definition of that, actually. This sustainable packaging definitely bringing up all the benefits, all the safe and healthy to each of us, including us, even that we are the players in this field, but we are also the consumer. So we have to really responsible for that. So able to meet the market criteria for performance and cost. This also so, because this is a business as usual. So the whole source and manufactured and transported and recycled is using renewable. That is we have in our mindset, actually. So able to maximize the use of renewable and recycled source of material. And then made from materials that healthy. That is so important. If we do recycling, but also that we have to concern about what is the impact, the healthiness of that product later on. That is also so important. So the probable the end of life scenarios, that is so we have to emphasize on that. So physically design, optimize material and energy. That is also that some of the previous speakers are already started to talk, and effectively recovered and utilize the whole biological and industrial cradle to cradle cycles. So a lot of agendas that coming with all the definition that we have started that before. Yeah, the first agenda again regarding the healthiness. You know, today we are more concerned about our health, and including in this packaging, a lot of regulation are talking about that. So I started with our daily life today. Yeah, you know, BPA, bisphenol A, is one concern in our packaging content today. Yeah, bisphenol A is could be part of the substance that in the coating of not really in the plastic, actually it's coating into our for example a can packaging, yeah, tin can packaging. Sometimes is coated by bisphenol A, and then and some other material is also we really have to concern about this matter. And then regarding the volatile component, the volatile component organic also, that we have to understand that this is KK was very much mentioned that before about the carbon footprint, the carbon emission, and so on. So that is all that we have to concern about the healthiness first. Secondly, if we are talking about recycling, the whole infrastructure, the whole system, ecosystem that we have to make, that definitely is a lot of challenge. How that we can collect and sorting, because the recycling is based on definitely all the material. And this is with the technology today, digital technology, we could make it this kind of as a tool for us to make it the sorting, make it possible, and so on. So that is another agenda that we have to do. And then regarding our talking about the bioplastic and so on, that definitely we are really to my experience, we are really in the very prelude condition today. Actually, I would say a lot of greenwashing, a lot of so-called solution, the non-plastic solution, for example, or the non-fossil based plastic solution, sometimes it's not really giving the solution. It's just a dream. It's not a real. Make another problem later on. Yeah. So that's why, like of course, like a material like a polylactic acid that is made from the cornstarch, for example, or any kind of a carbohydrate material. So that is something that could be compostable. Yes, this is according to STM 6400 and EN 13432, for example. This is compostable. But what is the condition in order to be compostable? This is also another challenge, actually. So it's not in the mature stage yet. So that is a lot of agenda that we have to improve for the further solution like that. And then education. Education is getting more important. Either the education to the consumer itself, which is the most community that we have to educate, but also even the government, the policy maker, that is need to be educated. A lot of misunderstanding that happen. That's what I see in the current situation. Yeah. So a lot of education, including our packaging. We have to make it also the information for the education, and then beware of the inconsistency and that make it disconnects. Sometimes people are talking that look like that is biodegradable. For example, that the paper inside. But if the product is inside that need to be protected again, for example, moisture, in our area, a lot of moisture, definitely they're still inside the plastic. That is what I call it also greenwashing again. Yeah, it looks like paper, but inside is a plastic. So what is it good for? Nothing. It's nothing good at all because it's not recyclable. You combine the two material, the same with the other material that is not recyclable actually. So that's why that is what we call it inconsistency and disconnects. And sometimes that's real greenwashing. So remove all the barrier of change. So our perception, we have to improve from time to time. Sometimes we are still look at what I think is still is a challenge. The cost itself, of course, currently, if we are doing recycling, the recycling material is, compared to the virgin material, there's sometimes people are saying that this much more expensive, but in fact, it's because they are nothing improving into the ecosystem that we are talking about. The infrastructure is not there. The whole policy, the system that we have to make it, that we have to improve in order to reduce the cost actually. Yeah, and the cost is definitely, we have also to separate between the tangible cost and intangible cost. You see, the intangible cost is our future. Our future is the intangible cost, which is we are not put it into a number today. Yeah. So a lot of choices that we have to find out also, a lot of choices that to make it the real solution, and then how to make it more convenient. In order not to make it more complicated, we have to make it more convenient. So that is the whole agenda that I'm talking about, and definitely the whole packaging innovation today will drive into a new opportunity. I will see in the future a lot of opportunity for this kind of solution. Definitely, they started with from beginning, from the material intake and up to the end to the market. This is the whole value chain that is the opportunity for explore in order to make it money more and more in a business. Definitely. So sustainable design, if I started to summarize, to approach the creative production in intention to reduce the environmental and social impact. This is very, very important in order to make it effective decision making, what we are going to do. Again, back to the what is already started by KK before from BASF with the carbon footprint. I think this is a good tools as well. Of course, talking about the ISO that I mentioned before, ISO 14040, 41, and 42. But the tools, the life cycle assessment, the LCA is a very useful instrument to assess the environmental impact of the product and the packaging. So it started with the, let's say, from a fossil up to the end market. How about the post-consumer waste recycling, for example? That, but also regarding the energy consumption, is also regarding the water consumption. All in all, is talking about the carbon emission. So eco design start with the top management decision. We are not good enough with the packaging that with all the basic function that we have today. We have to minimize the environmental impact by add-on for the core requirement is a packaging design that make it circular economy happen. That is so important today. So the whole holistic eco design requirement today, you may see here a lot of question that we have to bring up into making the right eco design. And this is definitely we never finish up to now. So we have really have to make it more development. We have to make it more improvement in that case. So sustainable checkpoint started with the sustainable material, yeah, the pre-life cycle, and then manufacturing, how to make it more efficient process, how to reduce the waste between the process of manufacturing, and post-consumer, that recyclable happen. Recyclability is really happening for that. So the full life cycle is also in regards to energy consumption that we are talking about. Yeah, reduce the carbon footprint in order to reduce also energy consumption for that. So, of course, for the packaging, we need all to improve the functionality of the packaging itself, especially in for food, for example, because the majority of packaging today is for food and beverage, and that talking about high barrier. But high barrier sometimes is not really needed plastic. For example, today we need also aluminum foil, but not only that. Actually, the whole barrier properties today can be improved with certain material that at the end that can be recycled as well, and not only recycled but also reusable. So many times that we can reuse that, and then with the whole solution that we can really make it circular economy happen. So towards the resource management, definitely the circular economy is not only talking about the waste management, but regarding the resource management. The whole that we can really save our resources, and that is also saving in our carbon emission. Actually, that is so important today. So talking not only about the packaging material, including all the products, especially if we are talking about the food waste, what happened today, a lot of food waste happen, that is make a lot of carbon emission as well. So moving the waste management to resource management needed to change our mindset from take, make, dispose into a circular solution, circular economy solution. That is so important, and for that we need to working together. We have to working together between the whole stakeholders, between the stakeholders of the packaging manufacturer, and then the brand owners that we are starting before with Unilever, for example, and retailers, of course, and then the consumer itself, who generate the post-consumer waste, and then how to manage the waste collection by government policy and recycling industry. I think this is my last slide for that. And again, I will emphasize for all efforts, our initiative, that we need to collaborate to innovate and accelerate everything. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Pak Hengki. Well, in addition to what you mentioned, just to say that remark that shelf life increases with flexible packaging, but education is necessary in order to reduce waste in the whole world. This is our task for everyone, citizens in the whole world, if we really want to commit in order to create a more circular economy and a more sustainable environment. Thank you so much, thank you for your inside work, and thank you to Merindo for all the Merindo as well. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so then now is the turn for Comexi Group Industries. The person who is about to speak is a business unit director for the laminating division. He's a chemical engineer, graduated in the Barcelona University. He is a professional and a really nice and highly engaged person committed to his role in the company for more than 20 years of experience in the flexible packaging industry. For me, it's a pleasure to introduce you today, Mr. Albert Chicote. Please welcome to this interesting event, and let us see all the insights what you want to share with us. Thank you and welcome, Mr. Albert.
Thank you very much, Alex. It's a pleasure being here. I think after this really nice presentation, full of content and yeah, very interesting, I would say. Yeah, now it's time for Comexi, which I think will complement and will have the proper flow of everything that has been presented during this whole session, that will make, let's say, to complete the kind of the circle, because how Comexi is providing solutions for this sustainable packaging that we have been focusing during the whole session. First of all, I would like to make just a quick glance of Comexi. Comexi, we started in 1954, okay, as a family-owned company, which in figures, global figures, we are nearly 500 people with a 4% investment in R&D and with more of 125 million of invoice last year. And we are global specialists. We are present in more than 100 countries where we operate with more than 2,000 clients, with more than 4,500 machines installed worldwide. We have offices and plant in Girona, which is the headquarters. Also, we have also in Miami to provide all this Northern Americas and Central America. And we have also a plant in Montenegro in Brazil to supply also to southern countries. Okay. This is a very nice picture of what we call it our technological center. It's about 2,500 square meters of knowledge and innovative work. Why? Because this innovative center, it has different purpose. One is a demo, the show, when a customer wants to really he's doubting about which machine they would like to choose. But further, it's a technological center also for our co-suppliers, also for our customers. And with these new trends which are appearing, it becomes of a high importance. Why? Because certainly with these new coatings, new materials, new kind of solutions, we have a demo center with all the technologies available, with the flexo, obviously coating, lamination, etc., laser, where we can test along with the co-suppliers or with a customer directly different solutions that are coming into the market that might not be, let's say, fully implemented yet, but we are on this early stage, okay, which is very important then, because we can supply to the entire world this kind of solution. What is the value chain of Comexi? As I said, we're coming from the printing, okay, where then we're providing also laminating and coating machinery, and also slitting and finishing, which means all the kind of a reel handling, packing, labeling, and palletizing, all the reels ready for the packaging process, okay, which at the end might end into the, for example, a pouch that we have been talking during the whole session. So, new challenges, new solutions. I'm afraid I will not say anything, let's say, completely different would have been said, because yes, global trend is sustainability. What about plastic? There's an anti-plastic feeling, which is, we can feel it in any industry in society, okay, and it will be increasing. And let's say, wasted if nothing is done. Okay, this is of a great concern. I'm sure most of the, or every one of the attendants in this webinar, we are professionals and we know what is plastic, what are the pros and cons, and we have a, let's say, a sustained answer to this. But out there, yeah, perception is completely different. And out there, they're not professionals on this sector, and yeah, the media, ONGs, etc., they're making a lot of pressure. So I think it somehow is very difficult to battle that. So we have to act differently. Okay, so it's of great concern because of the linear type of industry. So sooner or later we have to do it, or recyclable, reusable, or degradable. So we are talking more of the recyclable and reusable, as we think it will be the biggest trend. So obviously collaboration between the brand owners, the OEMs, and converters to achieve that is of extreme importance. We all know, I mean, as I said, we are all professionals, and we know that in comparison to other packaging formats, flexible packaging offers very sustainable solutions and benefits. Okay, resource, weight reduction, transportation, material reduction, waste, etc., and life extension of the products, which at the end, more or less, it's quantified at 1/3 of the products that we produce are just weighted along the chain. Okay, so nothing new on this regard, but what Comexi could do. So we try to reduce our environmental impact, focusing on the VOC printing methods, VOC-free, reducing also the carbon footprint of our manufacturing processes. Okay, we're the only ones who made a life cycle analysis of our machines. So from the very, let's say, beginning, where the machine is not even a reality, to until where the machine is after 30 years of usage, and finally the converter just is renewing it. Okay, we develop new solutions with solventless, low energy solutions, and also we contribute then to recyclability of packages made with our machines. So how Comexi machines, lamination machines, can help in the sustainability approach? Obviously, from one side, we have to reduce the film waste and VOC emission. Why? Because certainly if we produce less, that's a direct benefit to reduce plastic. Okay, how? First, we have to keep a very precise tension control, especially now that we are talking about these monomaterial sachets or pouches made of PE, MDO, and PE. All the full peripheral integrations, which allows us to minimize waste, because we are producing good package from the first meter. Also trying to minimize the VOCs with all the automatic self-cleaning devices, and as well the enclosed ducted blade chamber that we will talk about, and we will see the demo about, which we are provoking less evaporation in all terms. That's one thing, but also we have to keep an eye on the reducing energy, because how? Because the energy also is costly, and in the last times, especially in Europe, we are suffering a lot at that point. So energy consumption traceability, so we have to monitor at every single second what is the energy we are consuming, and per job, per day, whatever, we need to know that to see if we can really fine-tune what is the energy that I need for a certain job. Okay, to minimize it or to optimize it. Okay, obviously we use the highest efficiency motors, which are in the industry, and drying optimization as well. It's not about just blowing air, it's about how to make it efficient. Okay, so, and this is a glimpse of our technological center. Later on we will go down there. And you can see just in front of you all the kind of different trolleys and technology that we are able to provide concerning all these new coating methods and all these new products that we are launching into the market, and our co-suppliers are launching into the market. And obviously BASF is no exception. That's why we choose this right partner for this trial. Okay. So when we're talking about technology, obviously we're talking about different kind of heat seals for certain type of structures, about water-based coatings or lamination, solvent-free lamination, etc., etc. So when it comes to choosing the right technology, we have all type of possibilities at our disposal. So let's say we have the water-based adhesive, in this case courtesy of BASF, and we would use the gravure trolley with pressurized Dr. blade chamber, which provides a lot of different kind of added values, especially for water-based coatings and high grammage, okay, answering the sustainability claim. Why? Let's see. This is like the synoptic of the enclosed ductile blade chamber, which is pressurized, and we can work with clockwise or the reverse, okay? Perfect finishes with water applications is unbeatable, the quality that you will achieve. Reverse or front application, okay, we are able to change the grammage depending if we go one direction or the other, and the automatic self-cleaning, which provides a very quick changeover and less waste, because it's not like a, let's say, the standard gravure, which you have an open pan full of solvent, which then you have to evaporate or to clean it, okay, which is obviously is in terms of waste and time as well, it's more painful. Also, of course, we have to look at the drying efficiency. We talk about that. So we have a very, let's say, variation of different type of tunnels. So we have 2 sections, or even with 3 sections, means 6 meters, even 9 meters, and we can have different type of recirculation on every single zone, maybe in one of the 2. We can tailor-made at customers' necessities. Of course, we have this on the ML2 type, but also we have the ML1 type, which has a shell opening type. And in this case, we can have 2, 3, 4, 5 units, depending on what kind of a coating weight we have to apply, what is the nature of this coating weight, and what is the speed that the customer is desiring in every single case. So we really tailor-made the machines according to that necessity. Of high importance as well, that was also shown during Butcher's speed. We are having in all our machines 3-nib technology, which is of extremely importance, and especially now that we're talking about stretchable films, such as the combination of the 2 Ps. It comes of a high importance to avoid any kind of curling. So the fact that we have it bucket steel roller, which is pressing the rubber one, will make the completely equalize the evenness of the bond strength and avoiding any kind of curling with thin or stretchable films and achieving a good optics across the web. And I'll said well that all set points get kept in recipes and upload them. That's what I meant about traceability. So we have all our peripherals which are integrated, which is minimizing waste. And the reason why as well is because every time that we upload a job that has been previously done, all the parameters and all the settings of all these devices will automatically upload into the machine on the same parameters that were previously stored. So we will save a lot of human error, if we put it this way, or mistakes that could deliver if we are doing the job without that possibility. And I said about monitoring energies, all our machines are can be equipped with this, which is consumption per job, instant or accumulated, so I can know what is the kilowatt at each minute, or what it has been, let's say the energy consumption for that specific job. Okay, and then it has the full traceability of that gas volume, air, or cold water energy, or kilowatt per hour. Okay. So this is a view of one of the different solutions that we're able to provide. But I think, let's say, one image is better than 1,000 words. This is what at least we say here. So I think the best thing is now let's move to see a live demo. I will switch on for a second just because I have to move down there. And so we will see now the demo, which I hope you like it. Okay, see you in a minute.
So here we are. As we said previously, we are moving now to the trials. So we are standing here in front of the ML2, which is, I think, ready for production. Just a glimpse of the configuration from left to right. We have the coding sections, first unwinder, rewinder, and secondary unwinder with a tunnel on top. Just to remember that the ML2 has a wide range of lamination and coating options, with lamination with solvent, solventless, water, wax, UV or EB coatings, mark-to-mark register, etc. Among them, today we will test the water-based adhesive coating to do the trials. So here on the first unwinder, we have the MDOP previously printed in one of our flexos. The winder is able to carry reels up to 1 meter diameter and 1,000 kgs. We see that we have the Corona treater on top from Vetaphone. And I think Khalid should show up. Yeah, there we go. Hello, Khalid. I think he's ready. Just say hello to the audience. Khalid. There you go. Thank you. So, Khalid, if you're ready, just let's start. Let's commence the show. Now Khalid will start adjusting the parameters. And now he's getting a closer view on the coding section. The coating technology used is the Dr. Blade chamber. Now Khalid is adjusting a bit the mechanical stopper for the coating roller just to make a kiss contact. Very, very precise. Okay, now it's ready. And we are applying now the coating with a perfect result onto the web. We are accelerating, and there you go. 100% coverage. Okay, we see all these tubes. That's the fume extraction that is easy to replace. And here we have a very close view of the mechanical stopper that I mentioned previously. It's just to set a very gentle kiss contact with the pressure roller and the film. Could we switch back to the screen for a second? Oh, there you go. Yes, great. We can see a synoptic of the pressurized chamber and dosing roller, which is rotating clockwise, just the opposite direction of the film. We are running at 100 meters a minute. To mention that this coating system is equipped with an automatic cleaning system that will flush the cleaning solution once finished into the chamber. Khalid, can we increase the machine speed now? 200 meters a minute, please. Okay. Yeah, thanks so much. Now the machine is accelerating up to 200 meters a minute. There you go. Very good. It's running smoothly. And the machine is in the regime stable with all the setting parameters on place. You can notice how fancy is also the machine with all this new design, the new technology applied here, and we're having a closer view now of the whole system. Remember that we are laminating MDOP with a P to simulate monomaterial structure. Now we are moving to the secondary unwinder that we have placed the secondary reel of LDPE. Same parameters as the first unwinder, so up to 1,000 millimeters and 1,000 kgs. Perfect tension with the dancer roller. Just look that it's not moving at all, so it's controlling perfectly. And also the secondary corona treater from Verifone, of course. And also we have the nip, which is from Butcher, as ensures a high quality result for these very sensitive materials. The drying unit is equipped with 2 independent zones with gas recirculation on both of them to reduce the energy and gas consumption, of course. Please note that this tunnel is 100% configurable, which means that it could be extended to 9 meters or even 12 meters long if required. Okay, Khalid, I think we're ready. We've seen enough, so you can stop it. Yeah, great. Yeah, great job, mate. Now we're stopping the machine, slowing down, ramp down. Very good. So now Khalid will just take a sample. Yeah, just slice it here. We see there's no curling. And yeah, you just take one sample out. Yeah, good results. Are you happy with Khalid? Yeah, great. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Khalid, for your help. So I hope you liked the demonstration of this lamination of the 2 MDOP with LDPE with water-based from BASF. And yeah, I think now it's time to give word to Alexander Astudillo that will collect all your doubts and concerns and open questions. So yeah, we'll be glad to answer them. Yeah, thank you very much.
Hello, and thank of this interesting moment. I guess that you are okay. Okay. Hello and welcome again. Thank you for such an interesting moment. Thank you, Albert. It was really interesting and nice demonstration. Well, just to remind you that Comexi brings you the most user-friendly technology right now. And at this stage, I give pass to all of our sessions of questions and answers. I guess, Laia, I don't know if our participants, our speakers wants to join us and answer some of these questions what the participant has already dropped. Okay. Well, I have to read it here. Thank you, Albert, for the demonstration. It was really interesting. Okay. So I have some questions here. The first one is for Mr. KK. Mr. KK, are you there?
Yes, I can hear you, Alex.
Okay, sir. We have someone that is asking if BASF has barrier coatings for monomaterials.
Yes, we have, but at this moment it is working with a converter in Europe. So yeah, please drop me a note with the contact info that I showed just now. Yeah, we can continue the discussion. Yes, we have the product. Yep.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that, Mr. KK. Well, I just give the next one is Mr. Stefan. Someone is asking if Bottcher is developing biopolymers for sustainable roller covers.
The question is polymers or photopolymer, or what is the question? So
they are just asking, are you developing biopolymers for more sustainable roller covers?
So we currently we see which kind of materials we can use for more sustainable products. Currently, the most products are made out of standard polymers, which are available in the market. But of course, we are looking forward to reduce also our carbon footprint, which means we also look which kind of material are more sustainable for the production. On the other hand, we need some special properties which are not so easy to realize with a lot of material. So it's also a question of the recipe, what can we do? But our R&D is of course considering this and looking for solution also for our coverings itself.
Okay, thank you so much, Stefan. There is another question for you, Stefan. Someone is asking, let me see, what is the time average recommended for grinding a sleeve?
If it comes to the question to regrind a sleeve, this is more or less depending on the condition of the sleeve. So if the surface is not damaged by something, then you do not really need to regrind. Grinding is necessary if there are some small mechanical damage on the surface, or something what we called in some cases edge cut, maybe by the substrate, which appears if you produce with thicker substrates. And the other thing is, of course, if there are some coating or ink laid down which remains on the surface, then you can try to clean it in first step, and the second step would be just grinding. So the period between, there is no fixed date. It is really depending on the individual case. In best cases, grinding period can be long between the usage.
Okay.
But in every case, of course, you can contact our local butcher subsidiary, and they will help to assist with this and also with the options to regrinding if necessary.
Thank you so much, Stefan. Mr. Bo, are you there? Mr. Bo from Unilever? Hello, Bo? I guess he's not with us. Okay, then I give pass to Mr. Albert. There is a question for you. Someone is asking here if as a machine manufacturer, do you see a global trend worldwide concerning to PE lamination?
Okay. Well, certainly, this is something which is growing. We have seen, however, predominantly in Asia, in Southeast Asia. That's number one, and also Europe. Will be the, let's say, the two main markets where this this kind of a necessity or interest and production is taking place strongly, I would say.
Okay then. So thank you for that. Then in terms of all these Agenki, in terms of all these new applications and what we are concerned about monomaterials, NDOP, in terms of container, has a limited range of applications. What do you think will be the forecast in the next 10 years?
Well, regarding the monomaterial and the flexible packaging, this is the whole challenge, of course. I mean, of course, the packaging function is a requirement, so many complexity. Talking before, I'm talking about barrier, for example. I'm talking about the conveniency. I'm talking about the cost and so on. So the monomaterial definitely is a goal in order to make it recyclable. That's why in that case we have to map all the recyclability structure. So the whole structure that the packaging compositional analysis that we have to make. But then the other challenge is also regarding the downstream recycling. How we have to study more about the infrastructure and definitely about the technology of the recycling itself. Currently the recycling on polyolefin, so PE is a part of the polyolefin, is a very much challenging today. It's not all of the recyclers is able to make it food safe. That is the whole challenge today. So that's why we have to combine between the mechanical recycling, which is the majority today, but together with the chemical recycling. So mechanical and physical and chemical recycling. That all together, in order that make it happen, that really that we are not only recyclable but also reusable, so that we can reuse it again. I think this is my answer.
Thank you so much, Fahenki. And then our last question for today's session is going to the people of BASF. Someone is saying here, how do you see the evolution of water-based adhesives in the actual market? Mr. KK?
Yeah. Water-based is one of the technology, a stable technology and stable chemical products that can be used in the flexible packaging application. Yeah. And the purpose of this water-based evolve in the next like 10-20 years is to going to replace the solvent-based adhesive. Yeah. So in the long run, to achieve the VOC-free and some of the concern of the environment, we see water-based and solvent-free are the two technologies that possibly replace all the solvent-based. Yeah. But at the same time, there is a concern, the food regulatory concern about some of the material used, for example, like epoxysilane, which is pretty toxic, which is happen or which is exists in the crosslinker. Another potential risk to the food safety is what we call PAA, which is a primary aromatic amine. So this happen in the aromatic crosslinker. So in water-based, we are using the aliphatic, which do not contain this PAA issue. Yeah. So in this case, in the long run, we see both technology are the products or adhesive, laminating adhesive that address the needs in the next 10 years. And now coming to the recyclability or compostability, water-based have the solution for compostable and also recyclable. Yeah. So in the long run, I will see a bright future for water-based. Yes.
And how do you see, what are your recommendations for this region, for all Asia market, Mr. KK? I mean, you know that Asian continent is a very conservative in terms of using still solvent-based technologies.
Yes.
My question is, this is a personal approach. What are your recommendations to all these converters, or what is what is the insights that you can share to most of the market? What is the way that we can create a more active market to go more into water-based applications? Because from what I can see right now, the market is still like reluctant to change, to go out of this comfort zone. We understand. Yes, sir.
Yep. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks, Alex, for asking this question. In fact, it's a very good question. And BASF has been working very hard for the past 5 years to working with the association like Indonesia Packaging Federation, which Pak Hengki is running. And also we work with a distributor to organize like a one-to-one converter conference or discussion in more detail how to use water-based. I think the main concern, like you say, Alex, yeah, people are so used to the comfort zone they have been for the past 20 years, which is using solvent-based as a majority technology. So whenever there's a change coming, so people tends to not easily accept, or tends to put some questions. Is it okay whether you have any success story, okay or not, right? This kind of questions. Yeah. So we normally work with the converter closely, one-to-one, and help them to go through all this presentation, technical solution, and we even run the trial together with them. Why we want to do that is, they need to have someone to show them when they have problem, right? For example, why, this cannot be dry, maybe the temperature setting is not right, what kind of cylinder they need to use, because so often that converter is using their existing cylinder because they thought that this can be used, right? So we need to have all this, we call the market communication and also customer education to try to show them what is the benefit of using water-based and how to convert their existing machine or their existing adhesive technology to water-based. Yeah. So this is what we are continuously doing for the past 5 years. Yeah. In Southeast Asia and also in Asia Pacific. Yeah.
Great. So thank you, Mr. KK. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Albert. Thank you, Pak Hengki. Thank you, Mr. Bo. Thank you in the name of all our partners, Butcher, like I mentioned before, a company with more than 290 years. I was really shocked when I thought, wow, 290 years. Never seen a company with such a really interesting and also family-based as Comexi. When I was told last week in Malaysia by Kenny, I was really impressed. And wow, really amazing, guys, what the way that you are doing in the actual market. And thank you for being with us in this event, Stefan. Thank you also to Mr. Pop, who has been the person, connecting person to all of these events. Thank you to Bajenki, because you are a strong supporter, and I like it, and I love it the way that you live this strongly passion for the packaging, and how you are always supportive to Comexi and to all of the main converters in Indonesia, and not only in Indonesia, out of Indonesia as well, because you are a personality in the world of the flexible packaging industry. Albert, to you, thank you. You are, I don't need to say more words about you, because you already know you are such a really nice person and nice professional. And thank you for these moments. Thank you for the nice
pleasure, Alex. It was my pleasure.
And thank you for the team also from BASF for allowing us this interesting opportunity, and hopefully in the very near future we join forces and prepare more interesting things for all the Asian market in order to come with more insight and new technology improvement that can help us to produce a better tomorrow. Okay. So also in the name of Unilever, I guess that Bo already just sent me a message telling me that he has to leave right now because there's a lot of traffic jam and he has to just rush to leave. So thanks to Unilever as a brand owner for supporting us in this event. And once again, sorry for saying so many times, thank you, but I feel just really proud and happy to share this moment. Once again, bye-bye to all of you and all my best, and have a really nice, pleasant day, okay?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you. Thanks for everyone.